What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and welcome on back to Mass Effect. And I was just checking out my journal here to see how we're getting on in the overall scheme of things. And we are doing very, very good. So we've taken care of the majority of the map now, and we did get Garrus's personal quest done. We already got Rex's done by accident. We just stumbled upon that. And now Tali's too. I figured this episode might be a pretty good time to go ahead and chat to the cast and crew once again. So that's what we're going to do this episode. We're going to roam around the Normandy. We'll check to see if our locker has restocked, and then we'll talk to Kaidan. And I guess after Kaidan, we'll go talk to Liara.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
Yeah, I thought we might have been able to get some new dialogues out of people now that we've progressed through some of those side missions. I think things like the Geth incursion and those long missions, they tend to count as main missions too, at least in terms of the takeover for companion dialogues. Every couple missions they'll get new stuff, not just main ones.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Another L2 flare-up.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't know if you've ever had a migraine, but trying to deal with anything when you have a migraine is a task. It's interesting to note too that Kaidan is the one we come to find out where the crew's at, right? The cast and crew, the engineers, the people on the lower decks, and our squad mates too. He has his finger on the pulse, so I guess he's the people person here. He's where everybody goes to talk, which makes sense, right? He's super personable. He's a little dry, but he's definitely easy to talk to. I can imagine if I was on this ship, the person I would want to talk to for advice or just to shoot the shit, it would be Kaidan or Garrus, right? Wrex I would talk to for war stories. Garrus I would talk to as more of a bro thing. But if something was heavy and I needed like a heart-to-heart, then Kaidan would definitely be where I would go to for that.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
He said except for you, of course. So I think this game is... I think the code there is reading like I'm a biotic here, which is interesting. I've never had that issue prop up before.
I haven't heard anything about kinetics in a while.
Yeah, they quietly disappeared. Broke up into a bunch of little corps after they botched the training on Jump Zero. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
So they were established to track these movements, and the word on the street is that they also caused a lot of explosions and exposures too. And I mean, when their funding comes from finding and training exposures, right, it's in their financial interest to create that problem to fix it. What did, somebody said something in a game we played recently, I believe it was Red Dead Redemption, but it was Dutch. When Dutch's final words are, once they take care of me, they'll find another monster to hunt in order to justify their wages. And justifying their wages doesn't only obviously apply to bounty hunters, it applies to everything. If you are paid to deal with a problem, it's not really in your best interest to solve the problem, is it? It's in your best interest to treat the symptoms and continue to get paid. At least when we talk corporations and financials and all that stuff.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
Yeah, when you have all this biotic force running through your body, you can create barriers, you can pick things up and throw things. The internal pressure that must create in your own frame, especially when you don't know what you're doing and you cast it on yourself by accident, you could literally just implode if you did it wrong. If you weren't aware of how to use that, because it's not an innate ability in humans. It's not like Asari where they have thousands of years practice with all this biotic stuff. If you can imagine starting from jump where you have all these powers, I'm sure more than a couple hurt themselves by accident.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret.
What a great choice.
People back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
Not only asking the Turians for help when you just fought a war, but handing over your children to the Turians to train. Obviously, there'd be some Turians there that wouldn't give them, well, fair treatment.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Make Earth look weak, and mercenaries too. They're not the most polite or official bunch. Again, shady decisions by Canadics. They don't want to look bad, so they do it through backwater channels.
Get your knuckles rapped a few times, Lieutenant?
Yeah, you could say that. Our instructor was a Turian by the name of Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges for that?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else at Jump Zero, it was under the table. The less said, the better. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
So he's not too eager to talk about that. I assume we're not going to be able to get any more out of that, yeah. I didn't think so.
Time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
I mean, like he said, there was a little bit of tone in his voice when he said he got his. Sounds like it was deserved, but we'll need to learn more about that before we comment too much. It's definitely rough, though, because I think that's the first time Kaidan's ever shut us down when we inquired about something. He definitely wasn't interested in conversing about that.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
And I talked about this a little in the earlier episodes, but humanity kind of has to be, but it would make us seem a little bullheaded when you compare us to people who live for thousands of years, right? We got like 80, 90, 100 years to get shit done. These guys have centuries to get shit done, so there's no rush for them, but for us, everything's so important because we're on such a limited schedule.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
Okay, 150 now.
That is true.
I guess there's been some
At first, I
advancements.
thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
Yeah, that's about the brass tacks of it, right? If you only have like 10, 20 years of your best years to add to a career, you're going to go all out for as long as you can, whereas these other species are going to take it easy. And of course it did seem intimidating, because we just rolled up on the block, right, and we want it all, and we want it now. Because there's people with ambition, and they only got like 30 years to do it, so...
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
And that indomitable spirit of humanity is going to play a huge factor in so many things in Mass Effect, which is very cool as a human.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
You could have just asked us about that. She didn't need to go digging through the personal logs. I wonder how she got access to that too. Maybe that's all just public information.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted
She's a
to learn
snoop.
about you, to understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Yeah, you see she's doing that Asari thing, that cold, manipulative tone shift in the voice where she was talking to us normally and then all of a sudden she's like, there's something compelling about you, Shepard. That's part of the Asari way of maneuvering. And it's interesting to see the snoop in her come out in her personality so soon, considering where her story arc goes. It's interesting that even back now, she was very, looking under the rug.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that.
Ash would be
You
thrilled
intrigue
to
me,
hear
Shepard.
that.
But I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
Well, this is an interesting predicament, actually, and to be perfectly honest, I haven't made a decision on which relationship I'd like to pursue in this series. Ordinarily, I'd almost always go Ashley Williams, but I might do things a little different this time, because the first time I made this Let's Play, years ago now, I did go for Ash. So here, I might do Liara, but there's, to be honest, if we're being blunt and upfront here, whatever's going on between me and Ash is not serious yet, and the last conversation I had with Ashley Williams, she seemed dead set that I was already interested in Liara and kind of brushed me off, so...
Williams and I are just friends, nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
No, you were right. There is something between us.
Something.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
A spark is a spark. Sometimes you just feel a connection, right?
These things never make sense. They just happen, and we get swept up in the storm.
Very poetic, Shepard.
So chaotic, so dangerous.
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. You. I need some time.
She seems like she's about to faint again, like she did when she found out the fate of the Protheans. Interesting that she said she's not looking for a protector when she's pursuing somebody in such a high military ranking position. It's literally what I do as a job description, is protect.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
Well, I think that might have actually been us making our decision on who we're going to pursue, huh? I mean, we'll still talk to Ash along the way, and I think eventually there's a confrontation between the two. If you keep chit-chatting to both of them, but we'll see. We can talk to Ashley Williams. We'll see how she talks to us. We also got to hit up Garrus, too, after the Dr. Hart thing, see how he's feeling about all that.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Something bothering you?
It's Saren. I'm starting to wonder whether we'll ever find him. He's always one step ahead of us, and he's got those damn Geth.
Oh, we'll get it.
We're getting close, Garrus. We'll find him.
I wish I had your confidence. I just can't stand the thought of him getting away with everything he's done. I know you're doing everything you can, and if anyone can catch him, it's you, but if there's anything else I can do to help, anything, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it.
I love Garrus, man. The ultimate best friend.
I understand your concern, but we'll find him. Just make sure you're ready to go when we do.
Yes, sir. I'll be ready.
And Garrus is locked in and very ready.
What is it?
Are you worried that the Council might be protecting Saren? I mean, they were really dragging their heels before. What if we find him, bring him back to the Citadel, and they refuse to act?
I don't think they are anymore. I think they certainly were at first to try and cover their own ass, but at this point, I don't think they are. Well, they were actually protecting his identity, right? They kept it under wraps that Saren was the one. But that could just be that they don't want the Spectres to look bad. They just didn't want to know that it was a Spectre that caused it, rather than Saren himself. So it's hard to say, but it's possible.
You seem to have some thoughts on this. Speak your mind, Garrus.
Well, maybe we shouldn't give them the chance, Commander. In my opinion, Saren's too dangerous to be kept alive. Too much could happen. He could escape, or the Council might let him go. If we find him, when we find him, I say we make sure we stop him permanently.
I'm inclined to agree.
I'm glad you see it that way. I never had any intention of capturing that bastard. When I see him, he dies.
Good. The Council won't like it, but they can't stop you either. You see, this is why I want to be a Spectre. You never have to worry about
To be honest,
idiots making a
the
mess.
stakes are way too high to put him in chains anyways. Who's to say we arrest him, we let him onto the Citadel, he has Geth or people on the inside, they free him, he kills the Council, and then it's all for nothing, right? When something is such a high value target, I mean, this is the reason why when Marines or soldiers go in for a very high value target, it's not to capture, it's to kill. right? And then you just confirm the kill and you call it a day, because there's so much that can go wrong in the meantime.
Just make sure you're ready when it happens.
Yes, sir.
And Garrus, of course, is down for that, and he had a really good point there about the council. I don't think they are still protecting him, but at the end of the day, anything's possible, and I'm certainly not prepared to take that risk.
Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr.
Okay, so we got
about her and her
we got
mom.
nothing here with Ash.
Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
That's crazy.
I don't think she's used to teasing, good-natured or otherwise.
Aw, no fun, Skipper. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Okay, so I don't think we have anything with Ash then.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
And that does seem like I locked off the romance with her, so I guess we're going Liara for this series.
Shepard,
That'll be a little different to what I'm used to.
So, you'd rather be a merc than help your people?
I'm a fighter. It's what I do.
Aren't you at all worried about what will happen to the Krogan?
What the hell do you want me to do about it, Shepard?
That's a fair assertion.
I'm tired of sticking my ass on the line and getting nothing for it.
So you're just giving up on your people?
I gave up on fighting for a lost cause.
And this is from the mouth of a Krogan.
I'm not like you, Shepard. I'm no hero.
You're working on it.
Bottom line, killing for credits simplifies things.
You ever think about helping your people?
I try not to. But there's a lot of Krogan mercs out there. I'm always running into
You don't want to get swept up into a storm
I'm
of
being paid to kill.
fighting for a lost cause, like he's saying.
That's just part of the job. You don't get to pick who your enemies are.
That's true, especially when, like he said, most of the highly sought, highly paid mercenaries in this galaxy are Krogan for obvious reasons, so he's been running into his clansmen as enemies for years and years. At this point, you would kind of have to dull yourself to that to be effective at your job.
How long have you been a merc?
Long enough. I took my first contract right after I left my home system. It's good work if it doesn't kill you.
I get the feeling you enjoy your work.
Sure. You get to see the galaxy on someone else's credits, and most days end with a good fight.
Everything a growing Krogan needs.
Fast fighting, private armies and such, but it gets too messy. I fight best on my own, or in very small groups. I don't like people relying on me, and I bloody well don't like relying on them.
Yeah, Wrex is the kind of guy you would want to send on a mission either as a bodyguard to protect a single high-value target, or send him to assassinate a high-value target. He's not the kind of guy you would put in a squad ordinarily, although he's doing really good with us, and we'll get to see that a lot later too. His loyalties will be tested throughout this campaign.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
I suppose it's up to us and our actions, and I guess a little bit of him too, to see if he'll pass those loyalty tests. See how Tali's getting on. We gotta talk to her about the Geth data anyway.
Shepard, I need to talk to you. It's important.
Is something wrong?
You know the data you took from those Geth control nodes? The information you uploaded to Alliance Control? I want a copy of it.
You want to bring this data back to the migrant fleet?
Those files have information that could be vital to our efforts to understand the Geth. It could be the key to helping us reclaim our homeworld.
If I give you this data, your pilgrimage is over. You'll go back to your own people.
Not right away. I'll stay with you as long as it takes to stop Seren. But my people need this.
So, of course I'm going to give her the data, right? But I just wanted to point out the fact that she will stay even when we give her the data that is going to change the future of her people. She's still willing to put that on the back burner to help us save the world. 10 points for Gryffindor, man. Tali's head is on so straight.
You think you can use this information to destroy your enemy?
Not right away. We will need to study it. It could take years, but it will give us new insight into how the Geth have changed and evolved over the past centuries.
Yeah, the thing is, whether I agree with those methods or not, at the end of the day, if I was her people, I would want to kill them all and take my homeworld back too. They're just machines at the end of the day. It's like Alexa stole their homeworld. It's rightfully theirs, right? Take the data, of course, take the data.
Go ahead, make a copy.
My people, I owe you a great debt. One I can never repay.
Don't mention it, Tali.
The only thing I can offer in return is what you already have. My solemn promise to stay with you until Saren and his Geth armies are defeated.
And I believe you.
I never wanted anything more.
Thank you, Shepard.
Yeah, Tali is a real one, and so mature
Feels like
for her
we're near
age.
the end, doesn't it, Shepard?
Her head, it always surprises me how much she understands the assignment and the situation, given her age and how she just set out on a pilgrimage. She's like ride or die for this, even though she has the key to her people's future in her pocket.
It won't be much longer. One way or another, it'll all be over soon.
You'll find the conduit before he does. I know you will. You have to. And after this is all over, when my pilgrimage ends and I go back to my own people, I'll be proud to say I was a part of it.
Be a hell of a story to tell your kids in the future.
We couldn't have done this without you, Tali.
You've been good to me. A lot of people treat Quarians like second-class citizens. They just want us to go back to our fleet and disappear. But you've treated me just like everyone else on your crew. Like an equal. That means a lot, and it says something.
That's because you are an equal.
Whatever happened,
You earned your spot
I
here.
just want to say thank you for that.
To be honest with you, every single person aboard this ship has earned their spot here. There wasn't any freebies.
I'm going to miss you when you go back to your own people, Tali.
That won't happen for a while yet. I'll be right here anytime you need me.
I think the only to be determined on that, actually, when you think about it, is
Later.
Liara. Liara didn't really earn her spot here. We rescued her from a situation that was bad for her, and then she's kind of been stuck here ever since. But she hasn't really had the chance to prove herself. I mean, she's come with us on some missions. She shot some bad guys with us, but in terms of loyalty tests and in her path traditionally here, she hasn't really done anything like that yet. But I'm sure she'll get her chance. Anyways, that is all the conversations wrapped up here. Much more of a shorter one this time. Wasn't as much to dig into since we already did the deep dive in. So that is where I will wrap it on up. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, please check out those links in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Mass Effect. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.